How's it going, guys? I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and let's say you want that Galaxy S2, but you don't like T-Mobile's variant. Well, you've got another option available on the carrier. The Samsung Galaxy S Blaze 4G coming soon to T-Mobile, the 21st in some stores, the 28th of March. Nationwide to all stores. And it's a pretty decent device. It's got a dual-core 1.5 gigahertz Snapdragon processor, a 3.97-inch Super AMOLED display, a 1,750 milliamp hour battery, and best of all, it's got HSPA+, or as T-Mobile calls it, 4G connectivity up to 42 megabits per second. So this thing should be fast on T-Mobile's HSPA Plus network. Let's take a look at it in the unboxing, but first, some love to Best Buy Mobile for hooking us up with a bunch of phones just like this for use in our One Paw Bandit giveaway game that we give to you on the site. When you go into Best Buy Mobile, you'll walk out working with your Blaze. They'll help you set up your email, your web, your internet settings, your camera settings, and more. So when you walk out the door, you don't have to mess with that in the parking lot. You're good to go and walking out working at Best Buy Mobile. Let's take a look. Blaze 4G, is this the device to get in the Galaxy S line? We'll find out starting right now. So Samsung's really milking this Galaxy S thing for all it's worth. You know, they had the Galaxy S series, now they have the Galaxy S2 series, Galaxy S3 series is right around the corner, but we're seeing a lot of variations of the Galaxy S2. We've seen the Skyrocket HD, which is coming soon. We've seen all kinds of different models of this device, or this series. Now we're seeing the Samsung Galaxy S Blaze 4G. It's not quite a Galaxy S2 in a lot of ways. The screen's a little bit smaller. The camera is not all there in comparison to what you would get on a typical Galaxy S2 device. The battery's a little bit less, but it's still a nice device for people that don't necessarily want the Galaxy S2 or don't necessarily want the Amaze 4G. They want something a little bit more kind of mid-range, still high-end, but more on the mid-range spectrum. So let's take a look at it here. Galaxy S Blaze 4G. In the box you get, let's look at the features. Blazing fast internet access on T-Mobile's 4G network. So this thing does support T-Mobile's HSPA Plus network up to 42 megabits per second. So if you're in an area that has that, you're going to be, you should be sporting some pretty decent connectivity speed. So here's the device, Galaxy S. You see it does not show Galaxy S2. It's Galaxy S Blaze 4G with a nice sticker on the front, which didn't make any noise as we peeled it off, but that's okay. 1,750 milliamp hour battery in this device. It has a dual-core 1.5 gigahertz Snapdragon processor, as you can see here, a 5 megapixel camera with 720p HD video recording, NFC enabled. It does have Wi-Fi calling and smartphone mobile hotspot capability as well. So in the box you get the phone, battery, and charger. And let's not read that, because reading is not for losers. Reading is for smart people. But we're not going to read it because we want the excitement of see what comes in the box here. Blaze 4G start guide. You've got something there. Looks like a recycling thing. Terms and conditions, return policy, limited warranty, and then you have your Samsung stuff down in here, along with a SD card adapter for your micro SD card in the device itself, USB cable. Also, let's take a look here. Battery's installed already. Like I said, 1,750 milliamp hour battery, and it looks like it removes. Okay, so it removes from the side, so you can see what it looks like on the back as well. 5 megapixel camera back there, micro SD card slot on the right. It's got a kind of an interesting look to it. I'm trying to remember which Galaxy S series or which device it reminds me of, but I can't quite recall off the top of my head. Micro USB charging port down here on the bottom. You've got your volume rocker over here on the left side, power button on the right, front-facing camera, and your capacitive buttons down here at the bottom. Menu, home, back, and search. Now this is running Android 2.3.6, so gingerbread out of the box with Samsung's TouchWiz version 4.0. And otherwise, just to give you some more specs, 1.3 megapixels front-facing camera, and it has Wi-Fi, of course, and it supports 802.11bg and in along with Wi-Fi calling on T-Mobile, so you can take advantage of all of those different things that T-Mobile offers. So it's 4.5 ounces, so it's definitely a lighter device. It feels good in the hand. Like I said, 3.97 inches, so just under 4 inches on the display, a little bit smaller than the 4.5 inch display you see on T-Mobile's Galaxy S2, but still a Super AMOLED display, so it looks really good. And of course, we can pull through all this and get into the meat of the device so we can take a look at what it looks like. So, I like the 4-inch display spot. As I've always said, I think it's a nice sweet spot for a lot of people because it's bigger than 3.5 inches on the iPhone, and it's smaller than, 4.5, 4.7, which I think for a lot of people is still too big. I mean, it's great for us. If you're watching this video, you probably love 4.5-inch displays or 4.7 or even 5.3, which you can find on the Galaxy Note. But I think for a lot of people, particularly first-time smartphone buyers, it's not the best in the world. But the Super AMOLED display looks good here, and you can see nice and fast thanks to TouchWiz 4.0 being pretty integrated pretty well with Android 2.3. They've done a good job with TouchWiz version 4.0. Excuse me. Out of the box, T-Mobile 411 and more, Game Base, get accounts in sync, Lookout Security, Mobile Life Organizer, More for Me, Polaris Office, Pro Apps, T-Mobile Name ID, T-Mobile TV, Quick Video Chat as part of T-Mobile, Visual Voicemail, Yelp, and then Zinio. So let's see how much of this can be uninstalled. and manage applications, and let's go to all, and let's see if any of this stuff can be removed. Looks like none of it can be removed. The T-Mobile stuff looks like it's on there to stay. So if you don't want the T-Mobile stuff like bonus apps, and let's go down through here and see what else we can find. Yeah, it looks like unfortunately all that stuff is going to be on there to stay. You can't uninstall it yourself. And I just got to point this out. I'm going to have heart failure because they didn't capitalize the M. That is grammatically incorrect, people. Even Quick is doing it. It's T-Mobile, capital M. That's how they, we all have those like pet peeves when people capitalize the I in iPhone or the W in WebOS. My biggest pet peeve is when the M in T-Mobile is not capitalized. It literally is very frustrating. But I'm going to spare you the story there. Let's go to PhoneDog.com and take a look. Again, Swype pre-installed on this device, alongside of some other keyboards, which we'll take a look at in just a minute. But I want to see the browser responsiveness on this device. But again, fits well in the hand. And I wish I had another device over here. Let's take a look at the Galaxy Nexus. I actually do have that on the desk just to compare it to. So you can see some size differences between some of the different Samsung devices. And again, feels good in the hand, not too thick. It comes in at 0.44 inches thick, so not bad at all. And it's got a nice little design to it with some chrome up top and your 3.5mm headphone jack at the top. So here's PhoneDog.com. You can see pinch to zoom, not even loaded yet. Pinch to zoom, still relatively responsive. Portrait to landscape transitions, nice and fast. And let's take a look at messaging just so we can see. Okay, good. I just want to make sure nobody's number popped up on this demo phone. And let's see what comes pre-installed. You should get Samsung's keypad. Okay, so Samsung keypad and Swype. And as I've said before, Samsung's isn't my favorite. The auto correction's not that great, but it is installed if you want to use it. The Quick Brown Fox, the Sick Brown Fox. Well, sick means sick nasty in today's world, which means cool. So this really means the Sick Brown Fox, man, is happy. The Sick Brown Fox is happy. So the cool, what that really means translated, the cool brown fox is happy. Again, transitions nice and fast. So this is a nice device with a nice processor, and it's going to be great for those people that don't want that big device that comes with the Amaze or the Galaxy S2 on T-Mobile. They want something a little bit more pocketable, a little bit more inexpensive, but still has some power to it. And this thing has some nice features when you really boil it down. A 1,750 milliamp hour battery for this size screen is pretty good. It's almost a 4-inch display. It's got a dual-core processor, and at that, the display is a Super AMOLED display, so it looks nice as well. And of course, it supports T-Mobile's HSPA Plus 42. So all around a pretty decent device. We're going to put this to the pace, or put it to its paces rather, in testing. So stay tuned on PhoneDog.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook as well. Facebook.com/PhoneDog. Let us know what you think. Is the Blaze the device, or do you go all out? Do you want that Amaze, that Galaxy S2? Let me know what you think at Facebook.com/PhoneDog. And as always, on Twitter as well, PhoneDog_Aaron, and on Facebook at Facebook.com/PhoneDogAB. Stay tuned for more testing on the T-Mobile Samsung Galaxy S Blaze 4G.